All right, so are you ready for this ALCS matchup? Because I don't know about you, but the Guardians and the Yankees, it's like, talk about David versus Goliath.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? Everyone had him pegged for like a losing season, and here they are in the ALCS.
Totally. Didn't even think they'd sniff the playoffs, and then bam, they knock out the Tigers, who were on fire, by the way.
Yeah.
And game five, I mean, come on, Lane Thomas, grand slam off Scooball.
Scooball. Tell me about it. And that's the thing, right? Everyone's talking about the Yankees offense, which, yeah, is terrifying. But that Cleveland pitching, they've been kind of amazing to watch.
And that is exactly why we are here, folks. We've got this stack of articles, Akron Beacon Journal, The Athletic, Bleacher Nation, all previewing the series, and we're going deep.
We're talking storylines, surprises, maybe even some stuff you haven't even considered yet about this matchup.
Okay, so things get going Monday, October 14th, right? Yankee Stadium. Bronx Bombers get that home field advantage. And the predictions, well, at least from the Beacon Journal, they're all over the place. Haha. Ryan Lewis, he's got Guardians in 7.
Which, I mean, bold. But he makes a good point about those close games. The Guardians, they just know how to win them. That bullpen, man, built for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you've got Nate Oldrick going completely opposite. Yankees in 6.
Experience, right. You can't teach that. The Yankees, they've been here. They know the pressure cooker of the ALCS.
True, true. But can they handle this Guardians pitching? That bullpen, man, they shut down the Tigers. And it wasn't even close.
And that's the thing that makes this matchup so fun. I mean, statistically, the Guardians had the best bullpen in baseball this season, and they leaned on them hard against Detroit, like 58% of innings. That's wild.
It's insane. But, like, can they really keep that up for a whole nother series?
$1 million question right there. High risk, high reward, especially going up against those Yankee bats. Which, speaking of, can we talk about that lineup for a sec?
Oh, boy. Where do you even start? I mean, you've got Torres, you've got Volpe, Cabrera. Any one of those guys can ruin your day.
And then you add in Judge and Soto. I mean, come on. Those guys are two of the scariest hitters in the league, and they haven't even really gotten going in the postseason yet.
And if the Athletic is right, and this is kind of frightening, they're talking about moving Stanton to cleanup, which would make that 3-4-5 with Soto and Judge absolutely terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine facing that in a big spot? Now, talk about momentum killer.
Totally. But, okay, as good as the Yankees' offense can be, they still got to keep the Guardians off the board, right?
Right. And that's what's interesting about this Cleveland team. They are like the kings of manufacturing runs. They're not trying to hit it 500 feet. They scratch and claw, get guys on, get guys over, get guys in.
And they got Tito, man. Terry Francona. The guy knows how to win in October. And more importantly, he's got those guys believing they can win, which, in a short series, is huge.
It's no doubt. Momentum, team chemistry, all that's real. And the Guardians, they've got it in spades.
It's like that underdog thing has become this, like, fuel for them. You know, the Athletic was talking about how the Guardians fans, they've totally bought in, I believe in Tito chants, electric.
And that stuff matters. That energy, it bleeds into the team.
Yep.
Something else the Yankees are going to have to deal with, especially in Cleveland. But, okay, big picture stuff aside, we know this series, it's going to come down to some key matchups.
Oh, 100%. In game 1, we're talking Rondon for the Yankees against Cobb for the Guardians. Talk about setting the stage. Rondon, Cobb, game 1. Yeah, they don't mess around with these pitching matchups, do they?
Nope, they do not. And Bleacher Nation, they went deep on this one. It's interesting.
Lay it on me.
Okay, so you've got Rondon, right? The veteran, 16-9, 3.96 ERA. But he's coming off that kind of shaky ALDS start.
Yeah, the Royals got to him a bit. You know, those Guardians hitters got to be thinking, let's hope for more of that.
Exactly. And then on the other side, you've got Cobb, who, okay, didn't have a ton of starts down the stretch, but when he pitched, lights out. 2.76 ERA, and that ALDS performance shut the Tigers down. Only 2 runs in 3 innings.
Cobb, he's got that ice in his veins, you know.
Yeah.
He's not going to blow you away, but he hits his spots, keeps guys guessing. It's fun to watch.
See, and that's what's going to be interesting, right? Because honestly, Yankees might have more pressure in game 1.
How so?
They need Rondon to go deep, save that bullpen.
Oh, because if they're in a slugfest early, that plays right into the Guardians' hands, right?
100%. And listen, we've talked a lot about those Yankee bats with good reason, but the Guardians can hit a little too, you know?
Yeah, it's not like they're totally helpless at the plate.
Not at all. They're clutch. They string hits together when it matters. Ramirez, always dangerous. Naylor, he's been on fire this whole postseason.
Naylor, man, talk about ice in his veins. And Gimenez, that kid is always on base.
Jimenez, top of the order. Such a spark plug. They might not win a home run derby, but they make you work for every out. Which brings us back to, you guessed it, that bullpen.
Because if they can keep it close, they know what they've got waiting in the late innings.
Oh yeah, class. Dude's practically unfair.
It's not even fair.
And it's not just him, right? Karinchak, Stiffen, Henches, all those guys can shut the door.
And we haven't even talked about that defense. They were making some ridiculous plays against Detroit.
It's like watching ninjas back there. And The Athletic made a good point about it, too. It's not just the routine plays, it's the highlight reel stuff that completely shifts the energy. And they don't beat themselves. They make the plays they're supposed to make.
Okay, so we've covered pitching, hitting, defense. But I feel like this series, maybe more than some, comes down to the managers, right?
Oh, for sure. You've got Tito, 2 World Series rings.
And Boone, who, let's be honest, the Yankees expect championships. So there's a little pressure there.
A little. Dude's got to be feeling it. But yeah, Francona, Boone, that whole chess match, it's going to be fascinating.
Experience versus, yeah, more experience, I guess. But Boone, he's got that whole Yankees legacy thing on his shoulders. And Francona, well, he's been there, done that, knows how to handle the pressure.
And he's not afraid to make a move. Remember that Athletic quote, Tito's the master of the quick hook.
Huh? Yeah, no messing around. If a pitcher's struggling, Tito's going to the bullpen. And he'll use his bench, too. Matchups, trying to get any kind of advantage. That's tough to prepare for.
And you know Francona's got some tricks up his sleeve for this series. He already said he's not afraid to use class for more than 3 outs if he has to. Which, I mean, kind of a gamble in a 7-game set, but that's Tito.
Always pushing the envelope.
And that, my friend, is why this series is so much fun. 2 incredibly evenly matched teams, strengths, weaknesses, you name it. And on top of that, you've got these 2 masterminds managing. It's going to be a battle.
So what you're saying is, buckle up. This thing could go the distance.
It absolutely could. And honestly, I have no idea who's going to win. But it's going to be one heck of a ride.
You know, it's funny, right? We talk about all these different things, pitching, hitting. But it really does come down to this classic baseball thing.
Totally, totally. You've got the Yankees, you know, they're all about that power, those bombs. They want to live up to the name, right?
The Bronx Bombers, baby. And then
Yeah.
you've got the Guardians. They're like, okay, we're going to pitch, we're going to play defense, and we're going to find a way.
And you know, it's funny, we haven't actually said it out loud, but like the big question here is, can they do it again? Can they pull off another upset?
I mean, nobody thought they'd get past the Tigers either, the Yankees. On paper, way more talented.
But that's baseball, right? It's not
Yeah.
played on paper. You got to get out there between the lines and anything can happen.
No doubt. And that's what's so awesome about this ALCS, right? It's like 2 totally different ways to play, but both teams. Super evenly matched.
Oh, yeah. And the storylines, you've got the Yankees going for their 28th title, which is just like insane to even think about.
And the Guardians trying to bring it back to Cleveland. It's been a minute, like 1948, I think.
These are the moments you remember, man. This is why we watch the playoffs.
So, all right, as we're wrapping up here, what do you want our listeners to walk away with? Like, what are the big things?
Honestly, I'd say be ready for anything this series. It could come down to one swing, one defensive play, Tito making a crazy decision. Who knows?
That's what's so great, though, right? It's those little moments, those details that end up deciding these things.
Absolutely. And don't count the Guardians out. Underdogs, sure, but these guys, they've got a knack for proving people wrong.
Pitching, defense, the manager, and I think, most importantly, they believe they can do this. You can see it.
It's going to be something else to see if they can keep that up against this Yankees team because you know they want that championship.
This is going to be good. This is going to be so good. All right, everybody, get your popcorn ready, settle in, because this ALCS, we're in for a wild one.
Oh, yeah. And keep your eye on those bullpens. Something tells me that's going to be where this thing is decided.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.